This is the OMFL.
You can't touch this.
And you're in the mix with Kinda Real Name. Here's another OMFL production.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Press Pass Live. I'm glad that you're hanging out with me tonight. Tonight's going to be a quick show because number one, it's one day late since I had a game last night. And guess what? We advanced, so I have another game tonight. So we're going to make this quick. We're going to make it fast. We're going to have some fun. We're going to give some predictions about what I'm thinking. If you're in chat, I see you, Dakota. I see you, Mo. I'm sure there are others here. I have not got to see the numbers. I want you to tell me your predictions as I go through here. Put them in chat. We're going to run through predictions really quick. Give you a couple of ideas of how I think the season is going to play out. It's going to be a different season. And then we're going to go take this down and come right back up with some Saints versus Eagles. And so if you're up super late tonight, come hang out with me for some Saints versus Eagles. Let's go get into it. 199. Can you believe it? 199. Show number one. It's a little mind-blowing. I started Press Pass Live, I don't know, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 5, somewhere in that area. It was like a once-a-month show. It started out as a written show, and then it progressed to like written and video, and then it progressed to a full video recorded show, and then it went live. And used to have Dakota with me and Maniac with me and Brady with me. It's seen all kinds of different versions of it. But number 200 next week. Let's get into it. All right, guys, let's look at some predictions. Also, I got the itch again. I can't believe I do this all the time. But if you're a creator, you know what I'm talking about. I got the itch. I'm going to redesign everything again. I know, I've done it like 50,000 times, but I think I'm going to go with a cleaner, simpler look. I was really inspired by Harris Heller's new stream on YouTube, which actually inspired me to go to YouTube 6 months ago. He just made the move a couple of weeks ago, and he went with a brand new white, clean, red look. It was awesome. It inspired me. I think I'm going to try something new. So I'm working on it right now. Hang in with me. I think you're going to see some new stuff over the next couple of weeks. Let's jump into it. All right, we're going to start with the NFC West. Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers, Rams. You never know what you're going to get with the 49ers just because of Double Zero's job and everything that he does. I just don't think you'll ever see that team reach their full potential until he's really interested and really plugged in. Let's be honest, Double Zero just doesn't want to lose his spot for Madden 22. That's about the only reason he's here. Little Koch is with the Bengals now. Who's the Rams? I never remember who the Rams is. That tells you all that you need to know about the poor Rams. They have been rebuilding. They had an outstanding draft this past year. The problem is it's about 2 seasons too late. It's going to be really hard to them to rebound in such a short time. But look for them to be a powerhouse next Madden. I really do think he's going to turn some things around. That leaves it to Cardinals and Seahawks. Seahawks have really turned some things around since last Madden. They made a nice push to the playoffs. Cardinals went 16-0, and then for the second year in a row, took the playoffs off, disappeared for family reasons. I'm not taking a shot at him, even though everybody thinks I'm taking shots at everybody. That's not a shot. He really was on vacation or whatever the reason was. Didn't want to hold the league up. 16-0. Gets lost out with a CPU loss to, that's right, Shocks. Thank you, Dwayne. He loses out to the Panthers. I think he's going to be right back. 38 points, 24 in his first game. He had a really, really strong team. He's only going to get stronger with Cam Jordan. That team's going to be scary good. Look for him to go undefeated, and I think going to win a bowl if he doesn't take the playoffs off. That leaves the Seahawks. I think they will make the playoffs. This is an outstanding team. Pepper's playing really great defense. He's got Russell Wilson rocking and rolling. NFC East, you got the football team. Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, who I play tonight, and New York Giants. New York Giants had a CPU game in week 1. He was away, had to let his team be CPU, and the Washington football team played him. And so I don't know what you're going to get with either one of those. Clearly, Rob is completely a zillion% checked out, which is really sad to see, especially from a board member, but it is what it is. I can't force people to like this game, and he hates it, and he's completely checked out. And I think you're going to see that in his record. I'm looking at like what could be, if he tried, a 12-win team. I think he's going to be like a 6-win team because he just doesn't give a flip and doesn't even want to make the playoffs. Dallas Cowboys have bounced back. Even though they built up their quarterbacks, I think they're going to be really, really good. Dallas Cowboys are going to be one of the top seeds in the NFC. Don't sleep on the Eagles. This is a good team. He's had 2 back-to-back outstanding drafts, and I think he's really going to bounce back in a strong, strong way. You're going to see them continue to play outstanding football. I just don't think he has enough time, and he's in arguably the toughest division in this league. Mo, Dwayne, Rob. That's 3 of the top 10 players in this league, arguably 3 of the top 7 players in this league. New York Giants, they're going to be right there. Mo has built an outstanding team. He's only made that team stronger. I think he's out to prove a point and get his championship back. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. NFC South, Kobe absolutely handed it to me. He killed me with his tight end. I couldn't cover his tight end to save my life. Even when I played zone, for some reason, my DBs left him wide open for long touchdowns. I think he had like 6 receptions for 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. It sucked, but I think Kobe is going to be back. Again, it depends on how life and how plugged in he is. I do look for Kobe to be back. The Buccaneers and Big Hurt look to be back 46-34, but again, does life allow him to stay plugged in? That's the big question mark on these two. I think it's going to be hard to pick. We're going to have to wait until week 7 or 8 to see if they're really plugged in. Maniac and his Panthers are going to bounce back. He played the champion. He lost by 4 points. Did I do my math right? Yeah, 4 points. Yes, 4 points. Okay. What more can you say? He lost to 4 points to the champion. My Saints are going to be a 7-win team. If I'm lucky, not going to make the playoffs. These 3 are going to battle it out. That's going to be a really fun race. I do think the Panthers are going to win it just because of life. NFC North, you got the Bears, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions. I think Trey allowed his game to be CPU because he wasn't around for this week, but Trey's going to be right there. He was all the way in the Super Bowl. He was right there hanging with Penguins, right there to make a play. The Packers are able to put all kinds of points up. He just can't stop throwing interceptions. That's going to hurt him. Denver and his Vikings are an outstanding team. He just can't make it count when it matters, and that's in the playoffs. And who the hell knows what's going to happen with Smash? He's the angriest dude I've ever met. And he's not really the angriest guy I've ever met, but he's been angry these last couple of seasons. I think he's passionate. I don't know that he has the team. He's got a young defense, and I think it's going to show its ugly head later in the season whenever he really needs to face some of these really good teams to make a playoff push. I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions to win this with the Vikings. They're going to push them. Don't sleep on the Packers. You never know what you're going to get from the Packers. Let's move to the AFC. Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders. One of the most confusing divisions. Chiefs have been dominant this entire Madden. 2 out of the 4 Super Bowls. I think I got that right. He was in 3 of the 4 Super Bowls. He's going to be right there again. I expect him to be in the championship again unless somebody else proves me wrong. Until that happens, I'm going to go ahead and take them. By the way, let me know if my voice is off. I got a feeling no one's saying anything. I got a feeling I said it last night to be synced up. Corrected is off. Oh, god dang it. Somebody should have said. Alright, now we should not be off. I know, that's what happened last night. My camera got funky on me and it started delaying by a second. So I delayed my audio by a second, and I forgot to delay my audio last night. But now we're good. Now we're all synced up and ready to go. Anyway, give me the Chiefs to win this division. Colin's going to push him, but Colin likes to just sling it around, and that always hurts you whenever you get to the playoffs. Unless you get lucky, you never know what you're going to get from the Raiders. He's already 0-2. The Broncos have proven himself, though, to have a pretty strong team. We'll have to see, though, can he do it for the longevity? Last year, this was the season he made his run, got to the OMFL Bowl. Can he do it again? Only time will tell. Give me the Chiefs to win this division. That's what they said last night, Mo, whenever my camera got desynced and I kept fighting it. And finally I just had to sync up my audio to my camera because it wouldn't play nice. Now we got the Patriots, the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins. One of the funnest divisions, in my opinion. One of the more active divisions that we have. Jets and Tim, super active. Ross and the Dolphins have been active lately. And then Bloop with the Patriots, always really, really active. Outlaw active when he can be. Outlaw has clearly built a very good defense. 17 points in his first game. He just never has enough offense. He should have drafted offense. He didn't. He went defense this year. I think that's going to hurt him. Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets are going to battle this out. Patriots already have the front lead, but they always kind of fight and come back to each other. This is going to be a tight race down to the end. I think the Jets are going to get in. I think the Patriots are going to win the division. Dolphins might be pushing for another playoff wild card. We'll see if he can get there, though. The next one, we got Roger and his Texans. So Texans, Colts, Titans, and Jaguars. Colts and Bill look like he's got that thing put together. It looks like he's excited. He's got his team put together. Who knows? Bill may be the year that he makes a run with his team. Texas and Roger, I don't know. I know that he plays in an outstanding league that he actually commissions in the NBC. We'll have to see if he can hang here. I think that's going to be a fun race. Titans, Dawson and his Titans. The offense looked to take a step back this year, but that defense is still outstanding. And you can never count out Brady. In my opinion, a really, really fun division to watch. And a coin flip is going to be the one to call it. I'm going to pick with my heart, though. I'm going to take Roger to win this division, the Colts to push. But it wouldn't surprise me if all of these teams push. Look for the Titans also to possibly get a wild card. That brings us to the AFC North. We'll get it out right. We got Nipple and his Ravens. We got Koch and his Bengals. We got Jason and his Steelers. And then we got Massimo and his Browns. Already the most confusing. Yeah, me too, Mo. Sorry, I can never read and talk. I need to get better at that. But this is one of the most confusing already divisions that you see in this league. Again, a coin flip is going to call it. Give me the Browns to win this division, though. I don't know why. I'm just going to go with the Browns. They've been the most consistent team out of this. Nipple in the first season was in the OMFL Bowl. He's completely disappeared. His life has changed a lot, and I think that's what hurts him. Little Koch is building that team, has some potential, but he's got to show me first. Jason and the Steelers, a little bit of a roller coaster. The Browns have been the more consistent team. I think only one team is going to come out of the AFC North. Now, let's look at some owner-submitted questions. Let's get over there because we actually have a whole bunch of them tonight. And let's take a look and see what they look like. All right, owner-submitted questions. Again, we got a bunch of them tonight. We got Trey asking, biggest surprise this season. I don't know what that means, so I'm not counting that one because that could. The biggest surprise is that Donald Trump ever become president in this country. I don't know what that means. Like, that's a lot to ask. Biggest surprise is that I'm actually still playing this game on PS4 because it's absolutely terrible in my opinion. So you're gonna have to give me some clarifying questions on that one before I know exactly what we're talking about. What do you think is? Let me get over here so I can read both of these. Can I do that? Let's see. Let's move this around. Sorry, team. That's not what I want to do. Oh, no. No. Don't do that. Oh, no. See, this is why you should never do this stuff live. Oh, no. I done messed up my chat, y'all. See, I was just trying to move something over, and I done messed up my chat. So now I've really screwed it all up because I can't see this chat. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. Let's see. Come on, hurry up. I don't have time to play around. OBS. Okay, OBS is being a punk. I'm just gonna ignore it. What do you think is the? What did I just do? Okay, I didn't do anything. What do you think has been the best overall player at each position? I'm not playing that game. That is going to take way, way, way too long. We can look at a couple of the highlights, though. We'll talk about a few of the players here. I don't know why. My computer's going nuts. I'm going nuts. I'm trying to make this a quick show. All kinds of stuff is just going absolutely haywire. Let's go look at a couple of the early stat leaders. The quarterback's a toss-up. I think overall, though, it has been Mahomes. Mahomes has just been outstanding this entire Madden. We'll get it out. This entire Madden, Mahomes has been absolutely outstanding. I think when it comes to the running game, it's going to be the Giants running back, who isn't going to be on this list because of the CPU game. Let's see. I don't even remember his name. That's why I'm looking for it. I probably should remember the dude's name. He broke every record that you possibly could break. Abraham Grant is going to be the best running back in this league. You got to go prove me otherwise. Receiving is going to be a toss-up. There's been a lot of really, really good receivers. I would probably have to go with the Washington football team. I'm trying to remember his guy's name. There we go, Terry McLaurin. McLaurin's just been all over the place, making all kinds of crazy plays. When it comes to tight end, I think that's a little bit of a toss-up between the Lions tight end, Hawkinson. What's his name? Let's go look, because I forget. Between the Lions and the Chiefs, right? It'll be between, Hawkinson, TJ, and our guy over the Chiefs, Khalees. Those two guys have been absolutely killer this entire Madden, and I think that's probably my favorite two guys whenever it comes to tight end. When you start talking about the defense, there's a lot of good players. You got to absolutely talk about the Lions duo in their free safety and their middle linebacker. Those guys are both studs. Let's see, I'm terrible with names. These are not real players. Can never remember their names. Derby, one of the best middle linebackers here, and then Doug Glenn has been one of the best strong safeties that we've ever had here. When you talk about defensive end, you got to talk about the Giants with their LSU guy, Daniel Hunter. That's right, he's been super consistent. So is the Chiefs. I always mess up this guy's name. I'm not even going to try it. Samson is always been one of the most consistent players that we had here. I'm trying to think who else is out there. The Cardinals, I think, is who he plays for now. Yeah, Cam Jordan has been pretty consistent this entire Madden. Or rest in peace, Cam, leaving the Saints. I thought he was done 4 seasons ago. The Chargers have always had top receivers in this league. Who else on defense? I think that's about it. Those are like some of my really top players. Will you be going over the changes made to the trade calculator tonight on Press Pass Live? Wait a second. That's not the questions we're supposed to be covering. I look too high up. What has been the overall best season this Madden? Maniac, that's a really good question. Anyway, Trey, I'm going to give you credit for that one too. The best season? I don't know. That's hard. Season 1, I think that's when we had to touch the game the least. And guys seem to be the most plugged in, the most engaged. So give me Season 1. Any thoughts of doing a highlight thread on Discord since guys are not able to catch your... Not a bad idea. I can throw one up. I think the problem is guys are lazy, but if guys are willing to do it, I will definitely throw it up and we can see what guys do. Any players from last draft would be on their second season becoming a major impact season player going into season 96. I have zero clue. Clearly you want me to talk about your guy, so I guess we can. The Panthers drafted a superstar player that will probably end up being a Hall of Famer here. I'm assuming he will be their import. DeAndre Frost, this guy is a superstar at 5'9", makes plays all over the field, was one of the interception leaders last year. I don't really remember all of the draft. The Eagles had tons of superstar players. I think their middle linebacker, maybe no. Eric Boss, that dude is a stud. I'm trying to think of that linebacker that he grabbed. Maybe it was Marcus Glass. Maybe that's who I'm thinking about. But he drafted a couple of players that are going to be really, really, really good in this league. That's a pretty broad question. I just don't know our drafts that well. At least I don't have the capacity to remember all of those guys. Who is the one current NFL player that you would like to add to your Madden 22 Saints roster? Good question. I mean, clearly it would be a quarterback. Let me scratch that. If I was adding a player to my current roster, it'd be Deion Jones. Big LSU fan, stud middle linebacker. I'd plug him day one and I'd forget about him for the next 3 Maddens because he would be on my middle linebacker defense forever and ever. So give me Deion Jones. Because I hit mute some way, somehow. Tonight is the most screwy night I've ever had. I don't know what I keep doing, but I'm screwing up everything I possibly can be screwing up. I don't even know where y'all stop hearing me. Team with the most pressure, Chiefs. I think it's always hard to repeat, period. Mo, because I think he wants his championship back. Maybe D-Money. I don't think he has any pressure at all, but I don't know. I can't tell what D-Money's doing. D-Wayne, I think, because he just wants to be there. The Titans, I think he doesn't like to lose at all. Mo, maybe not. Maybe it's just me all the time, and you just think it's you when you're here, but it's just me all the time. I don't know that there is a team that has the most pressure, mainly because it's the last season, and I think people are already unplugging. It's pretty outside. It's warming up. People are getting vaccinated. Blah, 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 blah. Cry me a river. Whatever people's reasons are, I think people are unplugged, so I think there's no pressure. What team improved their team the most this past offseason? Give me the Eagles, hands down. I think he had 2 killer back-to-back drafts, and that's going to put him right at the top. I think the Bengals are close, second or third. There might be another team I'd sprinkle in there. First time I've been on OMFL with a cycle change, Madden 21-22. Do we keep our teams? Do we reshuffle the deck? We keep our teams, but we do offer a reshuffle, and so we do a team draft for those. It's totally voluntary, and so if we get enough teams that say they will be in a team draft, we probably look for at least 6. If I have 6 teams or more, we'll do a team draft with all of those that want to let their name run. I just don't force guys to give up their favorite team. It doesn't help the league. It doesn't help engagement if I'm forced to give up my favorite team. It helps with players who have their favorite team. So I don't force anybody. You can work out a team trade, so you can go trade with somebody, or you can put your team in the team reshuffle, and we do a team draft. We random draw names and then let people pick whenever the new Madden game drops. Who's been the most impactful import player this season? Good question. That's a good one. McCoy. Panthers player, Panthers quarterback. I'm probably going to be missing on somebody, but I think McCoy, hands down, has elevated that team and kept them elevated for most of this entire Madden. When's the OMFL convention in NOLA? The second I either hit the lotto and I can fly you all in, and I freaking 1,000% would if I ever was that rich, or you all fly in here. If you all fly in here, I can feed you and we can have a good time, but can't be flying people in. That would be awesome. That's always been one of my dreams. I mean, we've been doing this for 20 years. I know teams, some leagues, they kind of live fairly close to each other. And some guys were, I think, in that league a little wealthy. And so I think it's the NBC, Madden Ballers, no, NBL, Xbox League. I think they actually did like a little weekend situation. It would be super cool, but yeah, I can't afford to do it, so you guys would have to do it. Most impactful import that you can remember the past few cycles. That kind of goes with Lost, but you said few cycles. That's another really great question. I'd have to go look at the Hall of Fame. I know the Giants had that superstar cornerback. You know, Pepper had that superstar cornerback. I know the Seahawks, when Mo had them, had some really awesome imports. I know my defensive end was in the first Hall of Fame class for the Cardinals. When I was the Cardinals, he was really, really good. That's a really good... Forbes was a super impact for me back in the day, and I actually won back then. But I think McCoy's going to be right up there. I think even what you see... with the Lions, with Worthington, now he's finally with a team that knows how to use him. Now you're seeing what this guy's true worth was. I called it. I said this guy was Hall of Fame franchise quarterback day one. He just wasn't put in guys' hands that could use him properly. Most important positions on each side of the ball for you. I don't know that I'm right. I think I'm wrong. I thought it was offensive, defensive line, which I think is where you win real football, and that's when I've invested my money. It's all in my offensive and defensive line and DBs. Where I didn't invest my money, where it's hurt me is linebacker. That's really, really hurt me. I tried to draft linebackers, and I've struck out 2 seasons in a row. I think you've seen this league turn to not paying quarterbacks. Only a handful of guys paid quarterbacks, and it's hurt a majority of them unless they were able to go draft them a guy that they were either able to build or play with in their style. And I think more guys have missed than have hit. So I would say, I think anywhere on the offensive line. I just don't know that that's right. I think it's proven quarterback has probably been the most on offense. And then I would say last Madden, I invested in defensive tackle and defensive line. It's been hit or miss. I think one could argue cornerback, one could argue defensive line. I'd say it's probably linebacker. It's the guys who get these really fast linebackers that they can use or they can make plays. They end up just shutting down the middle of the field, and it really limits what you can and can't do when the middle of that field is limited. So that's what I would go with. All right, we had some good questions this week. We haven't had questions in why it automatically muted me for no reason. I don't know why it muted me. Anyway, this is the one thing about Press Pass Live that I always get nervous about because I have to have multiple windows up. And when you start clicking around on things disappear. My iPad falls, and I think that's how it muted is my iPad fell and it hit the mute button. So anyway, thank you for the really great questions. This was a fun, quick, fast Press Pass Live. I'm interested to see how the season plays out. There just wasn't a whole lot because we just did the draft, 3 days ago, whatever. I had 2 back-to-back Press Pass Lives and now this one. So it wasn't a ton to talk about. I'm going to go play the Eagles. And so if you're up late, come hang out with me. It's literally going to go down. I'm going to wait like 5 minutes. I'm going to check everything, get everything fixed back up the way I want it. Come right back up. And we're going to play the Eagles. We'll see how that goes. It can't go any worse than it did against the Falcons. It was terrible. I don't know what happened. It was just terrible. So new game plan. I'm going to reevaluate my life. We'll see how it goes. Guys, lots of love. Peace and love. Come hang out with me with the Eagles. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Peace.